to Trading in the Money Inc. mod discussions. Today's topic is NFTs are dead. We have two really special speakers today, Manic and the Guy, who are going to chat to us in the community about what NFTs are, why do people find this valuable, where is the space going, what's the outcome. But before I do that, I want to do a quick round robin intro of Trading in the Money mods here real quick, and then we're going to introduce the guest speakers, and they're going to talk about who they are, a little bit background about themselves, and then we're going to go straight into the questions, and then start right away. So Trading in the Money Discord, we focus mostly on NFTs, options, and cryptos, and the members here really benefit a lot from the education and valuable content that we share in the Discord. Hence, two of our guest speakers are in our Discord. So here we are sharing our kind of education and also valuable content that we want to share to the community. So my name is Becky. I go by MSBT. I've been trading for about 2 years, mostly in options and crypto. And I've been in this Discord for a couple months. Going to turn it over to Tesla.
How's it going, everybody? Thanks for coming out. Listen, NFTs are dead with the Guy and Manic. My name's Shane. I go by Tesla Died, moderator for Trading in the Money. I've been trading options strictly options for the past 2 years. Like SPY and Tesla are my go-to. Big options lotto player as well. I don't really trade a lot of crypto. I do hold it though. I focus more on like helping new members become like independent traders and stuff like that. NFTs do seem like they're like the new gold rush, and definitely excited to learn some knowledge from our guest speakers. Up and coming NFT artist, Manic, and NFT entrepreneur Guy, aka Harley. So yeah, let's jump right into it and see what's going on.
Yeah. How about we do a quick intro from Manic, starting with Manic, since he's on.
Okay, so NFTs are dead. So I guess we're going to have a seance.
So give them a little background on who you are, how you came about. I mean, you have such a unique background.
Yeah, so listen, I go by Manic because I am manic. I have bipolar, and that's a big part of my story. I create shit. Check out my creations. I'ma pin them at the top. Look, I didn't come here to chill. I came here to chill. I came here to build. And I just want to be free. So I'm just gonna be me. And that's why I love the NFT community. That's me.
I like it.
You dig it? Yeah.
I dig it.
Love it.
So that's a little bit about me. But I'll go in more detail, I'm sure, like, of course, throughout the thing. Should I do it now or?
Yeah, let me introduce Guy real quick, and then we're going to jump right into the questions. The Guy, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. So I'm not going to sing or rap or do whatever.
I know. How do you follow that?
I'm not going to do that. But basically, out here in Atlanta, Georgia, I run a home services company. I've been doing about 2-3 years now. And I was looking, I just started to make money, right? Especially in my field, there's a lot of labor involved. So at the beginning, especially when you don't have much, labor is your only option, right? Especially when you're trying to, make money and have like the lowest kind of overhead possible. Great businesses are more labor driven. But at a point, you want to make labor an option, and that is what investing does. You need labor at first to create the money, and then you put your money to work. Get money by income. So I heard my buddy call me one day. He said, man, I made like 30K in the last 2 months, trading crypto. And I was like super skeptical. But when he said that, he was a close friend of mine. I decided to hop in and kind of dive deep into the space. And, here I am. I study every day, really enjoy it. Something I love to learn about. So it's been a pretty interesting journey.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Should we just jump right in? First question is, what is an NFT? I want to make sure we define this before we actually start talking about it. And I'm going to just read off the dictionary, the definition, but feel free to jump in. What is an NFT? An NFT is a non-fungible token. What does that mean? It's a non-fungible asset that is defined as One, that it can loosely fit into a couple of criteria: one, unique; two, irreplaceable; three, non-interchangeable. Um, Unlike a fungible token, which is substituted by a dollar for bill for another dollar bill, this is not true for an NFT. An NFT actually has data and information stored within it that you cannot substitute it for an identical set of data or information. So I'm going to pause there. Guy, Manic, do you want to add to what an NFT is, or we can go straight into the meat and potatoes of this, why NFTs are dead?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe break it down a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So, I mean, if you want to get like very literal, just to kind of help people understand like actually what it is, it's not super complicated. At the end of the day, it's just a piece of software on the blockchain. And specifically with an NFT, each collection is one software. So, for example, like Bored Apes, that's one software, and all it is there's this array of spaces in the software. Bored Apes having I think 10,000 in their collection, and each block has a number. And basically, as you either you mint it or you buy on a secondary market like OpenSea, all it does is interchange the wallet address that belongs to that certain block. So if there like are 10,000 items within this one piece of software, so there's 10,000 blocks within this one piece of software, right? Block number 500, if you either buy it by minting it or by buying it on a secondary platform like OpenSeas, all it does is insert your address within that piece of software that basically lets everybody know, because it is open for everybody to see, that you own that specific part of that software. But it's all one thing, you know. So at the end of the day, all this is just technology. Just people are getting more creative and making it decentralized and things like that.
Okay. So what do you think that is? Which leads me to the second question, which is like you kind of mentioned Bored Apes, et cetera, and like we've seen the hype of NFTs. I have more of a question related to the valuation. Like, how do you value or create like what is the creation or value in the NFT? Like, why are people so hyped about it, buying and selling it, and like when they're looking at it, like how do you determine the value? Like as basic as like what you do, like digital art. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Manic, do you want to comment on this at all?
Yeah. So it's like collectible. It's like art. Some NFTs have like for like a lot of times like one-on-one artists, like the main utility is usually like the art. Um, and then like for a lot of the collections, they have like a whole roadmap and a white paper. They like usually will like donate or like have a video game or like buying land in the metaverse and all these things. And to be honest, a lot of times it doesn't usually happen because there is a lot of like flipping and a lot of craziness in the space. So it's like a handful that I guess like more like the blue chips that actually I guess more so follow through, and they have like a strong community of diamond hands, which keeps the price high. But that's like, to me, that's like more rare. Like we have the doodles, like lazy lions, bored apes, of course, what alien friends, all these ones like that have strong communities. Like, so that's utility too. You have the whole community. And so as an artist, like I don't own any blue chips as of now, but it's I think it's wise for an artist to get into these communities too, because then you have like a community that supports you and wants to help you and back you. um, so yeah, and I guess the market determines the value and price of it. You know, um,
So
yeah.
like for
Harley,
someone for
you
like
can add
myself,
on.
go ahead.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
Harley,
so
you can add on to that.
yeah, so I mean, he summed it up pretty good there. Essentially, what's going to create the value behind the NFTs are what the community, if the community is backing it and how they are backing it, right? So it's just like, for example, you can go and if you were to go get like a stainless steel watch, just regular, it's probably going to cost you $50. But if you were to go get one from like, Audemars or Rolex or something like that, the prices are a lot higher because the value that the community has created for that item is just a lot more. So for the most part, the community is going to be what creates the value. But sometimes, a lot of time that's what's going to happen. Like, and that's really for like Bored Apes specifically, I would say. Bored Apes really they don't have any like super real utility. But the thing is a lot of celebrities own these apes, and they, basically them putting it as their profile picture has just been another way to kind of show off like their wealth, in terms of just being able to say like I own a Bored Ape. So there's no real like real utility behind Bored Ape. It's just that a lot of high profile people are buying them. That and since the community is full of a bunch of basically A-listers, that's why the Bored Apes are so valuable. But then you have other NFTs that are utility driven, which they serve a purpose, and if it's a good enough purpose and they get a good following from the community, it becomes valuable that way as well. But the main thing here is the community is what creates the value. That's the most important thing to remember.
Okay. So let me ask you that in another way. Like I've seen, obviously you've seen the crypto market kind of like tank a little bit. And then you see all these kind of overvalued NFTs and they kind of lose it, right? It's like a bubble. And they lose, I mean, right now it's like some of them have lost such a huge significance of their value. Like, why do they devalue? Not so much the community. Is there any other reason why they devalue itself? Like things that we should look out for?
FUD, FUD.
Yeah. And what does that mean?
Fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that goes on in the discords. Like maybe I think even like other projects want other projects to fail, so they'll like start to make something up, or just I don't know, just different things. And once that gets around, people become like panic sell, and then like the floor starts dropping and people like freak out, and then it just drives the price down, and or the hype dies out quick. The hype, there's always something dropping like every other minute. You turn around and it's like, oh wow, oh, stealth drop. Like you see things pumping, and then all of a sudden like then it dumps, and then like it then move on to the next one. It's like, and plus with the attention span of us humans, like it's like you're all over the place, and then a lot of times people are lacking sleep because the NFT space doesn't sleep, so people aren't always making the smartest decisions as well. It's like gambling too. A lot of the market is just like flipping. um yeah.
Harley, same question. Same question.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the same thing. So that number one big reason is people start selling, and when you start selling, again, why are so many people selling if it's so valuable? Why aren't people holding? Right. So that by default is going to bring the price of the floor down. But the other thing is like what he was saying is that like a lot of these people don't follow through with their roadmaps, right? Saying doing what they're saying they're going to do. So over time, if the project isn't going anywhere, and people start to feel a certain way, like, oh man, I don't know, because at the end of the day it's an investment, and if you feel like you're investing in something that isn't really moving, you're going to start getting worried. And especially a lot of these people in this space are people who are like kind of FOMOing in a lot of times, so they go in and they get scared because maybe something happens or something goes wrong here, and then boom, they start selling, and then everybody starts selling, and that's going to bring the price down. So part of it is just like people kind of just trying to sell and bring the value down, but it also falls on the developer of these NFTs and like the utility they bring behind them. Because as long as they're delivering on these points on their roadmaps like they say they are, and it's creating value, then the floor price is going to either hold or increase. So it's big on the developer, and it's also big on like if the community believes in the developer and if they're willing to hold or if they're going to sell. So it's really community driven.
Okay.
Very true. You want to be consistent. Like as for me, for one-on-one artists, like it's being consistent, like being in the spaces a lot, and just being a big part of the community, because this whole thing is community. It's really community driven.
Yeah.
And just showing up, and it makes the investors feel more comfortable, because if you're like here one day and you're not, where is everybody? Then everybody starts freaking out and talking like, what's going on, and people don't want to lose money, so they'll start selling, and and it could just drop everything. Yeah.
So where do you think this space is going? This is more like a broad question for you guys, like, right? So like I feel like when you look at NFT, it's so broad. Like you're starting to read things about token formats, how they it doesn't just necessarily represent like money. Like it takes different forms, like tickets. I've seen NFTs they're looking into like music is pretty huge, right? Intellectual property in music or digital rights, like software that you mentioned, or even like putting deeds on your car or public records. And so all these kind of more different areas of NFT have branched out, and like I would love for you guys to comment on like where do you think it's the outcome or where the space is going, and maybe talk about the music part, because I feel like just recently there's a huge growth in that area.
The music, yeah, I mean, it's all different forms of like artistry, from music, photography. I mean, pretty much anything you think of, like dancing, whatever. Yeah, it could all be NFT.
Where do you think
Yeah,
the
but where
space
do you
is
think it's
going though?
going? Like, yeah, is
Where
it
I think it's
focused
going,
on the
Yeah,
art,
like you, like your
music,
personal
like,
opinion,
yeah.
being an artist, you know what I mean, like up and coming artist, um, being in it
I
as
think
long as
it,
you've
I
been
think
in it.
it's I think it's just gonna continue. It's just gonna keep evolving. I don't know where it's going, but it's here to stay. Like, it's so
Right.
powerful. Like, it brought us all right here, right now. And like the whole thing that happened with this Twitter's like the hub of NFTs, and it doesn't sleep, and it's bringing people together from all around the world. Like, and we're all just vibing, and it's just so big. I can't see it going anywhere. It's just gonna grow, and it's just a brand new space. And so we're like the pioneers. It's always said, it's always brought up that we're early, and it's true. And so we're in on the ground floor. you know
Yeah, yeah. Same thing,
So
Harley. What do you
yeah,
think?
yeah. So in terms of like where it's going, that's just like such a broad question. I think it's,
Yeah.
and personally, it's like, in my opinion, it can literally go anywhere. I believe that like different industries are going to figure out a way to incorporate NFTs. A lot are going to be very unsuccessful. Some are going to be very successful. And the ones that are very successful, what's going to happen is there are going to be projects that come out after them that are just going to mimic exactly what they're doing. And then there's going to become like new industry standards for each subset industry, whatever it's in, right? Either whether it being music, whether it being art, whether it being, the car thing, like you're saying with the deeds. I mean, you see Gary Vee just opened up a restaurant in New York that you need an NFT to get in. You've got
Mm-hmm.
um, so many different ways you can use it. Like I just qualified for one. This guy I've been following for a long time. His name is Ty Lopez. All you have to do is stake one USV, which is basically like the token he created, and you got airdropped a golden conference ticket to go to a place where you're gonna meet world-renowned speakers and all that stuff. So it's like that's another way. He's dropping another type of NFT where it's like you can use this to get into a social club online and in the real world. So it's like everybody's going to figure out a way to make it work somehow. And I feel like every industry is going to win with it. It just depends on who comes out with it first in terms of on the innovation side. But you don't have to be the innovator to make all the money. You
Okay.
can innovate it, lead it, and then people will follow. And I think standards will then come after that.
Okay. Manic, I want to ask you, I want to bring it back to you for 1 second because um, I wanted to know what brought you to the NFT space. Like, we want to really hear your story as an artist because you're truly like an NFT artist. Like, where
yeah,
where can you find your work? Like, things like that. I
yeah.
want to take it down a notch for 1 second.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
could find my art. It's on OpenSea, and I
Mm-hmm.
have a link in my Twitter bio. That's one of my collections. That's actually my biggest collection, and I have prices on there that are very low, because that was when I first started on OpenSea, and like I was new, and I didn't know what to charge. And then, so there's ranges of prices, like real low, and then they go higher. I was just kind of experimenting with pricing stuff. I was new, I didn't know. So, and I still sometimes don't know. Um, but yeah. So you can find my art on my Twitter. How did I get into it? Oh man. Well, I've always just should I just tell you? I'm gonna just like tell my whole story, just how I got into it.
Yeah, we want to hear it because
Tell
I
the
think
story.
it's so
Tell the
unique.
story.
Tell
Yes.
the story. Okay. All right.
The whole
Yeah.
story. The whole story.
The whole story. He knows me from way back, man. I've been through a lot, man. Okay, so originally I was from New York, and I moved down to South Florida. That's where I met Tesla or Die. And I was 16 years old, and I was I had to leave my environment, like my girlfriend at the time, and I was really down, understandably. But then that down turned, like the opposite way, where I was up, and I didn't know, my family noticed a change in me, and so I had what was called a manic episode. And come to find out, I had bipolar. I was brought into a psychiatric hospital in West Palm Beach, Florida, but like I was always before all this stuff when I was younger. I was always an artist. I was pursuing acting and like music and all different artist stuff. So wherever I was at, I was always doing art. If I was in a psychiatric hospital or in a drug rehab, I was still like doodling or whatever. So it's just in me to be an artist, in one form or another. So, but throughout my teenage years, it was literally like drug rehab, psychiatric hospital, and like a revolving door where I was becoming like institutionalized. And I didn't want to take my medicine. I would get out, I would do good for a while, I would start using drugs again, and it was just a revolving door. But in between all this time, everything, I was always creating art. I was pursuing a career in music, like I sing. Um, I was pursuing a career in acting, so I got my SAG card, the Screen Actors Guild. Let's see. Then the craziest thing was when I was 19 years old. Um, yeah, I was manic and I wasn't taking my medicine and I was doing some pretty hard drugs and I pretty much like I almost had a heart attack. I ended up in the emergency room and I had a drug induced psychosis and ended up in the hospital again, and this time I was there for 3 months because they couldn't stabilize me. They couldn't get me back into reality. I thought in my mind, I thought I died and I was in purgatory. Like I had this whole thing in my mind. This is how the mind works. Like I had this whole thing in my mind, and I was like telling my family all this stuff that can't even imagine how they felt because this is their son, and going through this. So they couldn't keep me in this place, but for so long. I was there the max time. So they were like, "Well, he needs to go to a state hospital because he can't go out to society like this." So I went there for 7 months, and it took them that long to finally get me to be back into reality and be able to function like a normal person. Um, so I got out of there, and like a few years after that, um, I started taking my medicine, and I was on the internet, and I met my wife through MySpace, and then that's when my life really changed because I was taking my medicine and not doing drugs, and then I somehow became interested in making money online. So I tried everything from affiliate marketing to print on demand with selling my designs on like t-shirts, websites like Redbubble, merch by Amazon. Um, I tried all different ways to make money online, basically. So, and I found success with the print on demand. Like I taught myself Photoshop, and so I was already making designs. So last year, I heard about NFTs through the whole Beeple sale, and I was, that took the whole like a lot of people that were into making money online. I feel like especially heard about it. An artist, digital artist heard about that, and it's like, whoa, that guy just sold it for what, $69 million. So I started looking into it, and I was like, I'm already making designs. Like, I could probably do that. Why not? So that at that time, I was getting into back into crypto. I got into the Dogecoin situation. This is just crazy how this all happened. This is crazy how this happened. So I got into Dogecoin, and then I got into a crypto called XLM, Stellar Lumens. Somehow, I don't even remember exactly how. I ended up on Discord, and I was in a Stellar Lumens Discord group, and somebody's like, I want to send you an invite to this app called Clubhouse. So I was like, all right. And so I ended up on Clubhouse in a group called NFTs.tips. And that's where it all really began. And I learned how to set up the MetaMask, and I learned about the different platforms where you could sell your art. And
Mm-hmm.
and so I opened my I first started on Rarible, and then I came across OpenSea, and that made more sense to me. So I started putting my art on OpenSea, and yeah, and I just started cranking out art, and on Clubhouse I was listening and learning for a long time, and I wanted to share and let the community get to know me, but I was nervous. I didn't know what to say, so one day I was like, I want success. I've been in these groups, I'm learning, I'm creating art, and now maybe I could sell my art now. and the people who are having success we're talking up and being a part of the community. So one day I was like, I decided just to share my story in a group, and that's when I made my first sale, and that's when it became like real, like this is possible. Da, 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 da. What
So
All
else?
right, that's the story
I'll,
behind the Manic.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's how I got into NFTs. I think that's yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's your story. That's what we wanted to
Crazy
hear. But
story. Yeah, crazy story.
yeah,
So
it's crazy.
thank God I have my mind back, and it's been years and years since I've been hospitalized. And I taught myself Blender. Well, I'm still teaching myself Blender because it's a very robust program, a lot to it. So I do digital 3D digital sculpting, and then like an abstract style. I call it experimental. Um, yeah,
yeah,
I'm just having fun with it, and just you
I
know,
love I love your story because it's being in the NFT space has actually helped you through your struggles, and to be able to express your emotions through your artwork, and then also making money from it. Like mad respect to you, like that you're doing that.
thank you so
So,
much. Yeah, it's really been a blessing to me
yeah,
because it really has helped me grow as a human being.
yeah,
Like for me, it's not it's a big part of it was about the money, of course, in the beginning, but then as I've been in this community, the relationships and like the
mm-hmm,
all these things and the support and just being
mm-hmm,
around these like-minded people, it's just like has me like on fire and motivated, and it's like I don't ever want this to end.
yeah,
So I'm just here to grow with the community and at the same time share my story and build my name up, and just see what happens.
yeah.
Just keep showing up.
Well, we're really lucky to have you and Guy in our Discord. So I wanted to say thank you for that. Love the story, but I want to switch over to Guy because
Yeah.
I love how you tell your story about making money. I want to switch it over to Guy because Guy, the guy, has a totally different way of making money in NFTs. I am hoping that he might share a little of that with us because we get to talk to him in Discord about his minting, staking, renting NFTs, and then new word for me, decentralized games like DG. So I kind of want to throw that topic with him, Guy. If you can
Yeah, Harley.
comment
Same
on
question.
how you make money on that, or like just kind of drop some huge knowledge for us, because again, we're also lucky to have you in our Discord to educate us on how you take an NFT in a totally different angle too.
Yeah. So that's awesome. I appreciate it. And Manic, that's a great story. I always love hearing how people go and I've heard, I've made my mistakes. I've had my share of struggles, and sometimes people like to kind of stand over you and tell once you do something, you're that person forever. And to see somebody change and and they want to change and they do better, and it just proves to people that if you want to do better, you can do better, and your past mistakes don't define your future you. So I just wanted to say that, and that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, but yeah, so in terms of like with the way I look at NFTs, um, I had a buddy. I sat down with him a while back, and I was trying to teach him a little bit about how kind of all this works and what I'm doing, and he couldn't understand why like I it was so prevalent in terms of like why I had to learn it and why I had to start figuring this stuff out, because he said he felt like mass adoption was very, very far away. Basically meaning like he just didn't feel like the average person was going to understand this quick enough to where you really could make as much money as people are saying. And there's truth to that. It can get very complicated. It's a pain to do a lot of this stuff. In terms of like it's a pain to send setting up a MetaMask wallet for the first time. It's a pain to move funds between different blockchains, because in order to mint on this blockchain, you have to have funds on Matic. It can't be on Ethereum. It's a pain to pay for fees. Everybody hates gas fees. It just everything is a pain, but pain is very profitable. Because a lot of people aren't gonna do it. So you have to go out and just put in the energy and put in the effort to learn these things, because as soon as it becomes easy for everybody to do it, there definitely won't be as much money to be made. There always will be money to be made, but there won't be as much, because a lot of people just stop on the little things. And if you're willing to push through and learn how to send money to a different blockchain, learn how to incorporate gas fees when you're trying to figure out how much you're going to actually make on the transaction, and you start to take strategies on that, you can go pretty far with it. In terms of like what I'm doing specifically, I heard I joined a Discord about 3 or 4 months ago. My cousin had told me about it. He was making some money. They were doing like some similar to trading in the money, calling out plays, wealth education, teaching, learning, things like that. And there was this guy named Chris K. He was their DeFi expert in the group. And he was just talking about how, how he got into DeFi, and he has a course out there, which is a really great course. It's like $50. It teaches you everything about DeFi. If you want to learn about NFTs and crypto and the basics, and he makes it very simple, you go to Chris K on his Twitter, KRISKAY. He has a course that's like $50. It'll teach you a lot of stuff. But I started studying him because I was like, you know what? I really want to learn about this stuff. He mentioned a company called DG, Decentral Games, and he made some valid points. At the time, Decentral Games was probably like the only real thing in Mana. Mana is one of the metaverses. So they were like the only really big company kind of in that space. So they were kind of the first to enter. On top of that, the owner or like slash developer of the Decentral Games, he actually owns the most land in Mana currently. So he's the biggest landowner, right? So it's like, if this guy's invested this heavily into this new space so early, let's see why he's so convicted. Because at the end of the day, we can believe in the products, we can believe in the NFTs, we can believe in these tokens, but the leaders behind these tokens, the leaders behind these NFTs, they're going to be the people that push these products and these tokens to new levels. So you have to believe in the developer. You have to believe in the owner. You have to believe that they're going to do the right thing. And just kind of studying these guys and studying kind of how they operate, I was just blown away. I was like, this is crazy. So basically what they did is they do a play to earn game, and it's a play to earn where in order to play the game, you must own one of their NFTs to allow you to play. So they specifically do online poker. By winning certain poker matches, if you hit certain challenges and you win a certain amount of chips, you get a certain amount of ICE tokens, and that could be like your daily payout. So I saw the interesting. I was like, wow, this is interesting. It's like it's play to earn, but like it requires an NFT to be used to play the game. I'd never seen anything like it, so I was super interested. So I was doing more research into it. I found out not only could you use it to play for yourself, but you could also rent it out to other people so that they could play for you, and you keep a percentage of what they make. And that concept blew me away. I was like, this is crazy. I had never seen anybody or heard of any type of person using NFTs like this. And I just believe that like one day this is going to be a standard. I feel like DG is a big innovator in the game, and people are going to mimic and copy them. So like what I'm looking for when I'm looking for new NFT projects is, how do they stack up against this company right here? Right? This company in like 4 months, we're doing about, looking at the treasury, they're doing about 3 or 4 million a month right now. They just launched like around September, October. So this company's on pace to do like $40 to $50 million a year. They just launched 4 months. There's a reason. You follow the numbers, and you have to say, all right, there's a reason why these guys are making so much money. When you start really doing your research. So I went and basically do 2 mints a month, and I basically set my wallet up. I paid about, I think that first mint I did was like half an ETH, and I went on their platform. I staked their governance token, which was a pain. I had to go from MetaMask. I had to send money from my Voyager to my MetaMask. I had to go on MetaMask, use what they call a bridging application, which basically bridges your money to a different blockchain. So I had to move Ethereum from the Ethereum blockchain over to the Manic blockchain. Then after I moved it over, I realized that on the Manic blockchain, their gas fees are in Manic, not Ethereum. So I had to go back to my MetaMask, move over Matic to the Matic network so that I can process transactions, because every different blockchain uses that token for their gas fee. So Ethereum uses Ethereum, Matic uses Matic, Solana uses Solana, and as they go on. And so I did that, and I was ready. I had to use a new swap token called QuickSwap, swapped it over. Then I had to figure out how to stake their governance token to even qualify for the drop, and it took a lot of time. I spent hours upon hours upon hours, really researching and studying, because I was like, I want to at least give it my all and see what happens. Let me at least try my best and then see what happens. And if it doesn't work, all I did was lose time. If it does work, who knows what's possible. So then I went, the very first mint, I had an appointment scheduled. I moved my appointment and I sat at my computer from like 12:30 to like 1 p.m. and I just sat there and the mint dropped at 1. I immediately bought it. I minted one and then it sold out in like 2 minutes, I think it was. 1,250 items. We did about 2.1 million in about 2 minutes. And I was able to grab one. I was in Discord, people were upset, freaking out. And then I went and I started learning about like how to find delegates, which is basically like how I find people to rent it out to. And what you do, and it's pretty cool when you think about it from this aspect, is that like I rent it out to these people who are like in these other countries where like $1,000 a month is like the average wage out there, and they're going on and playing poker using my item, and they're making about $1,000 a month playing poker. So I'm literally changing somebody's life in another country by renting it out to them. And it's pretty cool. And in the process of me renting it out to them, I get this passive income. So at first I started with one. The guy was making me about $15 to $20 a day. And now I just got on the last mint, and that I minted another one. And now I'm making about $40 to $45 a day passive income. It's coming in every day. All I do is I check on the guys. Hey, how's your day going? They tell me my day is going great. I say, send me a screenshot. I want to see how many chips you have. I want to make sure you completed all your challenges. And there's a back office and all that helps you see all this. Maybe we could open up a Discord later and I could go through my back office so I could show people. And it allows me to kind of track how they're doing. And it's just crazy, man. To think that like in my first week and a half, about 8 days actually, I made about $200 renting it out. So on pace right now, I'd make like probably $800 to $1,000 a month passive income. And all I had to do was buy these NFTs and figure out a way to vet people and rent them out. The other beautiful thing that's great is that like everybody had this bubble that just hit, right? Everybody, you in crypto, your portfolio took a hit. Okay, I lost a lot of money in the last couple of days with the way the market went. But even though the market went down, the wearables, the NFTs I own, their floor price kept going up because this company is a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. So like to a certain degree, they have their own ecosystem. How Bitcoin and Ethereum move in the market is going to affect their price, but it won't as much because we have money flowing through our ecosystem. Again, we're doing 3 to 4 million a month. So like since we have money constantly going, yeah, we take hits, but we bounce back very quickly and we don't take as big of a hits. Currently right now, the floor price, you can look it up if you go to Ice Poker. We're the number one traded NFT on Manic, number one. And if you go on, the floor price is 2.5 ETH. I own 2 of them, so I could sell them both for about 5 ETH each, which right now Ethereum's about almost 2,500. So they're worth about 12,500, and I paid about 3,500 for them. So I've almost made about $10,000 in the last month. That's just from buying and being able to resell. That doesn't include what I'm making renting. So it's pretty cool to see how it's holding up while the markets are going down. And it's pretty cool to see kind of like how this company is doing things and where they're going. And I plan on minting more, but I plan on holding for a little while because I really believe this company is going to one day get to 10, 15, 20 as the floor.
You're just mind blowing me right now. Like you just bought an NFT, rented it out, have passive income. What I heard was 800 to 1,000 a month. Is that right?
Yeah. So right now, I just looked at my back office. So the game ends at about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I can kind of see kind of where I'm at. But where I was, I only rented it out for a week, and that was with one. I rented out one for 7 days. I just minted another one a day or two ago, and I only rented it for 1 day. So it was like basically only one wearable. And keep in mind, I didn't even go into like the whole. And it'd be better to show, but there's ranks to these wearables, and you can level up your wearable through the ecosystem by burning the token they use to pay everybody. And when you level it up, you earn more ice. So I'm at a rank 1 wearables. They said that as I've done my research, as you level them up, if you get them to what's called diamond hands, which is basically level 5, you will almost double what you're making daily. So right now with 2 NFTs, I'm renting them out. I'll probably make anywhere between 800 to 1,000 a month. If I just rank them up, then I could easily get that to about 2,000 a month.
So it's not just any NFTs, right? You said it's wearable. Is that right? Like what's I just want to make sure.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just the NFTs associated with Decentral Games.
Okay.
On the OpenSea platform.
Got it.
So it's just, again, and like I was explaining to people in terms of like, I feel like people are so scattered, right? I mean, we have stocks, we have
Yeah.
options, we have crypto, we have NFTs. It's like there's going to be so many ways to make money. I just feel like what you need to do, in terms of I was giving like an honest opinion, would be to focus on an avenue that you're very interested in and learn as much as you can about it, because you will get very, very wealthy if you can focus and learn how some of these concepts works, especially because they're so new. And if you can get ahead of it before everybody else, you will make money. Trying to focus on everything is difficult, and I'm not saying you shouldn't pay attention to everything, but your focus should really be on one avenue. And that's why my focus is going to be on the play to earn side, specifically with being able to rent your NFT to people, because I feel like, in my opinion, the people who are going to understand these NFTs and these crypto concepts first are going to be the gamers. So I want to be in their space. I feel like
Hmm.
everybody will understand them eventually, but the gamers are going to be the ones to understand this first because they've been doing this already for a long time. They've been on Overwatch. They've been on Fortnite, buying skins, buying guns, leveling up their characters, making them look cool. They've been doing things like this already for years. So just to add money to them is not going to create it so complex. And I just feel like they're going to understand it first.
Absolutely, you're exactly right. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Like for me, like I'm very interested, like in the land, metaverse land. You know, I think for me that's what my focus is gonna be
And
Just
why is
focus
that?
on
Who
something.
is that? Why is that? Sorry, I want to make sure.
because it's like digital real estate, the metaverse. You know, because you'll be able to rent out land too, and you can build on it. So it's the same kind of thing. I mean,
Same concept in the real world, except virtual.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
It's just wild too because like last year you could buy a piece of digital land like for way cheaper. Now like the prices are really going up, and these are still cheap compared to what they're gonna be. You know,
Hmm.
it's crazy. Yeah, because I actually had a piece of land and I sold it. I sold it too soon and I regret it, but that's okay because once I start selling my art, I'll be able to invest in some more land and stuff. But yeah, it was NFT Worlds. Um,
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Now it's
Those are
like
big right there.
you know about it. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's so cool. Like because you could like it's linked with Minecraft, JavaScript. What is it called? Java Edition. And you could build already, and like it's already a working thing. Like and yeah, I messed up, but it is what it is. Because now they're like I think like almost 5 ETH. But that's just the way it goes in the NFT space. You never know.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
never
I
know.
had a buddy who got airdropped. So airdrop is basically like he got airdropped an NFT because he won. Because again, a lot of times it's so new, like it's so easy to win these competitions. You go sign up for an airdrop, you'll have a higher chance of winning because a lot of people aren't signing up for the airdrop or they're not willing to put in the work to get the airdrop. So I had a buddy who went, he got the airdrop for the NFT world. They gave it to him, which nobody knows this with the NFT world, or a lot of people don't know with that, like how they built that, they never sold any of the worlds. They airdropped it to everybody. So they
Yep,
made no money when they dropped it. They just gave it to people. They gave it away. And I think the floor right now is like 4 or 5 ETH.
it's
It's
crazy.
pretty
I
it's
know.
pretty
I sold
crazy.
mine at 1 ETH. Yeah.
So you got airdropped one?
No, I bought it at point 0.4,
Oh
but
man, dude.
I
They're
sold
like
it
at
at
four or
what?
five
I
ETH.
sold it at one
Sheesh.
ETH, and I wanted to like get into another project and flip that to be able to buy even more land. And it's the project I got into didn't do as good as I thought. And then like the next week it like flew up to like 3 ETH, and I was like, what? I just like damn, like
Mhm.
that's just the way it goes. It's so volatile. But you
Manic is known for picking like the beginning of the best, then getting rid of it, and then going back and going, damn.
I know, man. Like you win some, you lose some. But
Yeah,
this
yeah.
whole thing is, it's just you just learn as you go. So
Yeah, it's definitely learn as you go. You got to understand it's like all this stuff is going to be confusing, and it should be confusing. It should challenge you to learn it. But as you take the time to really put in the effort and to just kind of really try and understand these concepts, repetition, you learn it. And now I can easily transfer between chains. I don't even it takes me 2 minutes. And I'm confident in what I'm using. I'm not like worried like. The first time I ever sent money from Ethereum to Manic using a bridge, I wasn't very smart about it. I was like, I'm going to send over $2,000. I've never used this before. So I sent over $2,000. It didn't get there immediately. I started freaking out, and then like in 10 minutes it got there, and I calmed down and I learned. I said, Harley, next time you use something new, don't send $2,000. Send $100. Make sure it works before you go out and you put so much in. So little things you learn as you go, but you have to be willing to take the risk to learn, and you also have to be willing to lose a little bit. But what's beautiful about this space is that you could literally just be right once and be set for a very long time. You don't have to be right every time.
Absolutely. That's one thing. One of the little things I learned from the beginning was like when I was buying an NFT was to not choose slow gas, because I was like, "What's going on?" And then someone was
They
like, "You
wouldn't let
gotta
you buy
choose.
it because of that?
It'll fail the
Yeah.
transaction." Yeah. So I think especially with a hype project where the sales are just flying and flying, it's wise to choose fast gas.
Mm-hmm.
And these are things that you learn.
Yep, you learn as you go.
Mm-hmm. And then if you get into something and you get rugged, which is freaking, that happens a lot, and that will teach you too. So yeah,
Yeah.
some
And the
hard.
big thing about that, I'm just going to share this story just so that, because this is very important and it happens. So you got to be careful. I'm also part of this other up and coming NFT project called Sand Vegas Casinos. They're recreating the Vegas Strip in sand. Sand is still very up and coming. Mana is way more developed than sand is. So there's a lot of legalities that they're still going through. Their casino is set to launch in September. But anyways, I got one of the gamblers off of on a secondary market. I got it on OpenSeas, and I joined their Discord because I wanted to be part of the community. And I was like, all right, I want to learn more about these people. I just bought this because a friend told me about it. So all of a sudden, I'm working and I get this ping on my Discord, and it's from their Discord chat, and it goes, "We decided that we want to increase our marketing. So here goes, we're dropping 700 gamblers right now. You have to buy it right now. We're going to sell it for 0.1 ETH. And if you buy it right now, we'll send it to you. It's just going to help the community market their project better." So I got super excited. I was like, whoa, I get to mint one? So I went onto their Discord, clicked the link, went to mint one, and it failed like once or twice. I started freaking out. I was like, man, I got to get one. I got to get one before anybody else gets one. And I went, boom, transaction went through. I was so excited. I was like, yeah, I just got another one. I paid half the price I paid for the first one. We're good to go. All of a sudden, my buddy texts me. Hey, did you mint one of those NFTs? And I was like, yeah, I did. He's like, bro, their main Discord just got hacked. You just got your money taken from you. So what happened was they did a huge scale hack. They recreated their website with when they moved over the decimal in the address, and they put their logo. They hacked their Discord. People started minting through that project. Some wallets got emptied. Thankfully, I only lost $300 in the gas, but some people's wallets got emptied. And it's just I only share that story to say, yeah, I'm down $300. Whatever, it is what it is. I call it kind of charging it to the game. But the point is that they could have taken everything from me. So it's super important that when you're getting involved with these projects, you do your research, because you can get rug pulled, even with, and it is possible. You got to remember, this is just all technology. It is possible for a Discord to get hacked and for them to throw some random link in. As soon as you connect your wallet, it's game over. You're losing everything. So it's super important to really pay attention to things. Make sure you believe in the project. Make sure there are things that kind of check off before you do things, and that don't just link your wallet anywhere, because somebody will take your money, just like they took mine. I'm just happy they didn't empty my wallet. That would have been really bad.
Yeah, it's a good point you have. Yeah, don't click links in Discord.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, we already went
Even
through that once with something with the nitro boost. Something stupid. Becky, didn't you have a question you wanted to ask?
I wanted to take one first thing. You guys are dropping such good content that I just want to take a 3-second commercial break and just have everyone retweet that blue button, because I think a lot of people are coming on right now. I want to make sure that you guys can invite your folks, because we're recording this, but this is amazing content.
This is knowledge right here. This is knowledge.
This is amazing. So we're so lucky to have you in our Discord, Manic, and the guy. We're so lucky.
It's gonna be Professor Harley now.
Thank you.
Professor Harley. You're funny.
So I don't have any other questions except for we can open this up to the guests, because we're coming up to the hour. So anybody that has questions, you can raise your hand. I think everyone's allowed to speak. Now's your
We can have
chance.
10 speakers, I believe. If you guys want to ask questions or whatnot, and you're not a speaker already, just request to speak, and we'll let you in.
Can I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for the information, both all y'all. It's been wonderful. Manic, I love your work. Definitely looking into it. I'm just now getting into NFTs. Uh, the guy, Harley, you pretty much nailed me right now, and I'm trying to figure out my space because I've been on this group for well, it's been about 5 weeks. I just renewed my monthly subscription, so I know it's been a month. And I'm trying to figure out where I need to go. I'm just started wanting to get into options. I've done the crypto. You guys are great helping me and answering my questions. Now I've started dabbling in the NFTs, and I don't know what direction to go in, but I'm all over the place, like Harley said, and it's kind of like making me take a step back and going, okay, I got to figure this out myself first. But my big question is on these NFTs, because I almost got rug pulled the other day. There was this one NFT, it was called Doodle Miners, and I was looking at it, and they were promising 1 diamond if you got a silver pickaxe, 3 diamonds if you got a red pickaxe, 6 diamonds if you got a gold pickaxe, and that was daily at $5 a diamond. So I started questioning them. I said, this math just doesn't add up. I mean, if I get a gold diamond, I'm making $1,800 a month. How are you paying for that? And they gave me some bullshit answers, and I'm like, let me think about it. I got to think about it. So long story short, I signed back on a couple hours later after questioning them, and all their channels were gone, and over 2,000 mints were done. So they rug pulled on people. So my question is, what are some things to look for?
Yeah. So big thing is like when you go on the, it's just like really when you're looking for tokens, when you go on the website, right? Like the website has to look good. It doesn't have to be, it looks like somebody went and spent their whole life designing it, but it has to look good. The words have to be spelled correctly. You have to be able to see the developers either with a face or a link to either their Twitter or a link to wherever that's a LinkedIn. I think I saw a couple of them have to kind of show that like, hey, these people are putting their face behind the project, right? Because like if they were to try to do a rug pull, their face is out there, unless it's like a fake LinkedIn or a fake Twitter page, which would be a lot to do, right? Because you'd probably be able to see that immediately, right? The chances of them rug pulling you are just a lot less. They have to, meet certain criteria, like how's the community? Are the people in the community involved? Are they active? Are people excited? Even if you have to, not get it on the mint just to make sure everything checks off. There are certain ways you can do it to kind of vet it, but in my opinion, the community is going to be the most important part, and you have to believe in the developer. Like I said, I think I may have said it already, but I said it to them last night. I forgot. Mark Cuban was asked what cryptocurrency he believed in the most or what he was betting on the most, and he said Ethereum. And they said, why Ethereum? And he said, because I believe in Vitalik. Right? Not because he necessarily believes in Ethereum. Ethereum's great, it's the biggest network, all that's important. But he believes in the developer of Ethereum. He believes he's going to take Ethereum to new heights. You have to believe in the person leading the front by their actions, what they're saying, making sure they're crossing off the things on the roadmaps like they say they are. And that is a good way to determine whether or not the project is going to have longevity. Utility is important too, but I think all that is more important.
Hey, Manic, you want to touch on that too? Is there anything that you specifically look for? Because I know that everybody had their faces out on what was the last NFT that got rug pulled on Solana.
Solana. Oh, I don't know. I never even got a Solana. I was gifted a Solana NFT, but I never bought one.
There was
Yeah.
recently one that just got rug pulled, but it had the faces, everything checked out, just like Harley said. That's what he was looking for. Everything checked out. But I guess they took all the soul from before the minting and just wiped out everything. You know what I mean?
I think it
And
was
their
Big
faces.
Daddy Ape Club. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think the one that they rug pulled on Solana was that Big Daddy Ape Club.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure the name of it, but I know that did happen, and it was like 1.5 million, something like that. It was ridiculous. So, is there any way to avoid that, or that's just a chance you take because you got to wait for him to mint first?
Bro, you're gonna have, it's a risk. That's why you never play with money you're not willing to lose. And this space is so new. There are certain ways to protect yourself. Like if you're skeptical about like a certain project for any reason, then create an extra wallet. Only put what you're willing to lose in that wallet. That way, that wallet gets hacked. You only lose what's in that wallet. You know what I mean? So it's like, to start off, you really have to be okay with losing money. That's just number one, right? Because you're gonna lose money, when you're experimenting, especially with investing, just investing, period. But
Right,
investing in
right.
something so new that's not regulated by the government. They're not. It's not FDIC insured. Your money goes and gets stolen. It's stolen.
Yeah,
You're
you
not gonna
can't
get
call and get
back.
it back. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think the main point is that like that's pretty crazy. That's probably not as common because and I have to look into that. I'll probably do some research into that because that's interesting for somebody to put their face out there and then rug pull. That's pretty risky, bro. I mean, that's pretty
Yeah,
crazy,
no,
especially
that's
on
that's
technology.
that's
That's
why
pretty
I'm
crazy.
asking, because it kind of didn't make sense to me, because that's exactly what I was looking for. I was like, wait a second, all the credentials check out, everything, and it didn't seem like it would happen, but it did, so like 9,000 sold, or I don't figure it was
Yeah,
1.3 million.
I'd have to look into that because that's interesting. But I mean, again, what that boils down to really is, you take risks when you're in this space. You're putting more than you're willing to lose. You're just making a bad choice, honestly.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
I was going to say I have something to add to that too. If you're really going to get into any big time moving of NFTs and all that stuff, get a ledger. They make ledger nanos, and that's a way to really protect any asset crypto you have. If you haven't looked it up, I definitely would encourage you to go on Google, look up Ledger Nano, and it's basically a way to secure everything crypto. So if you're going to move any kind of big money and you don't want anybody to really mess with you, it's a way to really take it offline so somebody can't rob you.
Right, and don't buy it off Amazon
Yeah.
Correct.
or Craigslist.
Yeah, I just bought one off a Ledger. I bought the Nano X. It was like 160.
Yeah, yeah, you
I
got it
don't.
off the website, right?
Yeah, of course. I went to
Yeah.
ledger.com. It was kind of weird. They sent me the email and it was like, if it's in a different packaging, don't be weirded out. But I looked at the email. I went off the website. It was correct. Before I plug it in my computer, I'm gonna double check, triple check. But yeah, I definitely just bought one. I heard a lot of people talking about it. A lot of people saying it's a must.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So, anybody got any questions? Anybody want to know anything, want to ask anything, request to speak? Let you guys talk. Well, we got these fire NFT people here, upcoming artists, Manic and Professor Harley.
Yeah, I was gonna say if anybody, I'm an up and coming artist. I'm just building my name up. The collection I have in my bio is called Experimental. It's just art that I create off what I'm feeling, just what comes out of my mind. Being bipolar and most of the times being in a manic mind state. So it's really abstract, funky. And my floor price is 0.07, and that comes out to $169 in regular money. So if anybody wants to take a look at that, you know, I would definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely check out Manic's collection.
Yeah, I'm up and
Absolutely.
coming, and I'm grinding,
Hey,
so I'm building my name up. I'm not stopping.
I
So
had a
yeah.
question.
Yeah,
Uh,
go shoot.
no, so Manic, whenever you created your work, did you polygon any of that, or was it paying the gas and all that stuff to get it out there?
Oh, Ethereum. I had pay the gas. Yeah.
All right, that's what I was really wanting to know because I've been in this kind of like same stage, like up and coming, and I did mine on Polygon, and it just seems like nothing will sell that way.
Yeah, because most people buy Ethereum with
Mm-hmm.
Ethereum and Ethereum NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like we were talking about this earlier, like I'm sure anybody can like download the programs and try to make NFTs and stuff like that, but the story and everything that comes behind it, like where it actually comes from, like I can't see Manic, making a football NFT or something like that. You know what I mean? He's gonna make he's gonna make exactly what he is. So his collection definitely makes sense, and yeah, I'm sure like um I'm sure like eventually if you stay at it, you'll get good at it. You know what I mean? And it'll all come to life.
Yeah, because I almost caved and did the whole 10,000 NFT generic stuff. And I myself, I'm a AI artist. So I work with AI to generate and then go from there with my own work. So I could never really dabble into just making very simplistic things to put them out there. I just didn't know if the gas fee in Ethereum was really holding me back or anything like that. I wanted to get another take on it.
Yeah, so again, the thing you got to remember is, where are the eyes? The eyes are on Ethereum. The other blockchains are up and coming. There are a lot of issues with the other blockchain. I was trying to unstake one of my tokens off of the Manic chain. It didn't unstake for like 4 hours. I heard about a guy who was on the Solana chain. They were down for like 3 days. He was trying to like leap, when the market started tanking. He was trying to pull out the market, but because Solana was down, he couldn't pull out the market. He got liquidated like in a day, and he lost everything. And it's because these smaller chains, they still have a lot of bugs that they're working out. So people are more afraid to kind of do their trading and put their money there, just because they haven't been out that long. People know Ethereum, they know Vitalik, they trust Ethereum. So even though there is a higher gas fee, which it sucks, dude. I paid $200 in gas before. One time I tried to take one of my tokens out, and I was like, all right, it had like $200 in it. I was like, I'm gonna just cash out, and then I went, and the gas fee was $200. It didn't even matter. It didn't even make sense to pull the token out, because I would have went on zero. So yeah, that gas fees suck, but that's where the eyes are, man. At least right now. So if you are afraid of the gas, um, yeah, you can build on Matic, and I believe Matic will be probably one of the next bigger chains. But if you want to try to stir something up right now, you're gonna have to launch on Ethereum.
I appreciate it, man. Like I said, it was one of those things that I put all the work out there, and then whenever I started seeing like, okay, all these people are paying the gas fees, they're getting everything sold, but then go to try to mint one of my pieces one for one, and it's like $300. I'm wondering, is it worth the risk? Even if I believe in it, somebody might go for the bigger collection since they have more utility behind them.
Yeah, utility is important. I mean, that's going to be the next big thing in terms of, aside from the community, the utility. What is it going to be used for, and is that use going to be here 10 years from now, right? Because a lot of these NFT projects, just like with any, because I think people kind of get this, like, try to get confused this a little bit. You got to remember, these NFT companies, these cryptocurrency companies, they're just companies. You know, that's all they are, just on the internet. So it's like, you have to do your research. You have to learn about everything. How does it work? What is this company trying to do? Where is it trying to go? Does it seem feasible? And do you believe in it? So you have to do all that work kind of, on the front end, just to make sure it's something you believe in. And if you do, and it ends up working out, a company long term, you're investing in a company on the ground level, you're going to make lots of money, especially if the company goes like a board eight, where the floor right now is like 100 ETH, minimum 200,000-300,000 to buy one. And, it's just, again, the community drove it, and the people, the developers are pushing the community forward, and that's why they're successful right now. If in a year or two they stop doing that, maybe Bored Apes will drop all the way down to like an ETH. Who knows? This market's so volatile, so the utility is very important.
So where are you guys like when you're going to look for NFTs or you're trying to get into a project or something like that? Are you going and looking for like communities that are already built? Are you looking for the NFTs that are the collections that are already there? What are you looking for when you're trying to get into like NFT? Like you want to be part of like obviously like Bored Apes or something like that. Everybody's way too late for it. Like how do you find out to where you can get into something like that or even find out?
Yeah, there's different tools like what is it? Icy tools like Rarity Sniffer or something like that. and then you can go on OpenSea, like go under stats, look at like last 24 hours, and see what's like, it has a lot of volume, and you know, what is it called, rarity tools. There's different things. YouTube videos on, like, if you put NFTs and see what these people are talking about. There's a lot of different ways to find out about new things. But being on Twitter, Twitter is the hub of NFTs. So,
Right. So if you were looking, so like Manic, like if you were looking to, well, actually, I got a better question for Harley. If you were looking to get into an NFT like tomorrow, like for renting it out because you're doing so good with ones that you have now, how would you go about looking for that?
So what I would do was I kind of talked about a little earlier is I would see how it stacks up to what I know is very successful already. So I'll look at like the one I'm involved in and I'll say, okay, cool. These guys are winning here, 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 here. This is why this is a great project. Now, how do you stack up against this project? Right? Because again, these guys I believe are the innovator, but you don't have to make all the money by doing innovation. You can just copy. So if I see people that start representing similar characteristics, I start getting interested and start doing my research. So I'll look and I'll say, okay, cool. Like I forgot specifically. Dell Crypto posted it. Claudia told me about it. It was this thing called Cairo Inu. I had heard about it. It was a play to earn game. The developer was on a Twitter space. I got on the Twitter space. I got to talk to the developer. He seemed pretty cool. And I said, hey, man, I just want to ask you a question. And he was like, yeah, what's going on? I said, okay, you're coming out with a line of NFTs. He was like, yes. I was like, all right, cool. Are they going to be required to play your game? And he said, yes, they're going to be required to play my game. Boom. It just meant something that is very successful over here. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to look into this project even more. And that's when I went and I invested into the token because I was like, okay, cool. It meets a very important criteria for me, which is I'm trying to learn about these passive income, play to earn, up and coming games. And I believe the games that are going to require you to use the NFT to play, there's going to be scarcity, there's going to be rarity, there's going to be people, if the game ends up being really good and people really want to play, they're going to have one of these NFTs to play, right? And then if the min is done, how do they get one? They have to get it from me. So that's what I'm saying is that, like, when you see things that are doing well in another project, when you start looking for other projects, just see how it stacks up against the project that's already doing well.
Gotcha. Yeah, you already answered the next question. I was going to ask you how you found the NFT that you're currently renting.
Oh yeah, just deep in Discord chats, man. Deep doing research, learning about it, seeing why it's valuable, and going through the pain of learning how to work on different networks and using different type of applications on the blockchain and all that stuff. And I took a risk. I think my total investment to rent the NFT or to buy the NFT to mint it was, I think I paid, it was half a ETH. ETH at the time was like 3,300. So it was like 1,650, and then I had to stake their governance token, which is was at 35 cents at the time. I had to stake at least 1,000 of it, so that was like 350. So I invested, 2,200, as a risk, right? But my risk level is there right now, in terms of like everybody has different risk levels. I can afford at the moment to risk 2,200 and lose it just because of where I'm at. Not everybody's there, right? So, but because I could do that, all I did was I said, okay, cool, this makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot. If I lose 2,200, I'm going to sleep really bad tonight. But, at the end of the day, I gave it a shot. And if it works out, it works out great. And it worked out. So I just heard about it and I took the risk.
I hate to put you on the spot, but how much, like, that's your investment. How much did you make off that one investment? And then we got to wrap it up.
Yeah. So right now, currently, the floor price for the NFT, well, in terms of passive income, I've already made I haven't checked in the back office. It resets every day at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm averaging about $40 a day passive right now. But in terms of if I were to flip them right now, my total investment is about 3,500 into these NFTs. Now, when you stake their governance token, they didn't take the governance token from you. You just had to prove your loyalty to the community by staking their governance token. It was just like a requirement. So I didn't really have to invest that, but I had to keep it staked. So it's technically like an investment. So I bought them both for about 3,500. If the ETH floor right now is at 2.5 ETH, that means they're 5 ETH total because I own two of them. 5 ETH is probably like 12.5, 12.6. So again, I've got about like 9K profit, and we had this huge dip that just occurred, and it didn't affect it. If anything, the value of my NFT increased, even with this drop.
That's amazing. Well, you guys both, Manic and Harley, I guess we can call you the guy in our Discord. You guys have dropped such great content tonight. I wanted to thank you on behalf of like all the listeners and also everybody in our Discord. I think we're so excited to have you in our Discord. So, if one last plug, where can we find both of you? And then we'll wrap it up. Where can we find both of you?
Twitter.
Okay.
And yeah, Twitter. That's where I'm at. Twitter.
Is that only Twitter? Okay.
I'm on Instagram too, but
Manic, plug
it.
Yeah, Twitter. The link in my bio is the collection called Experimental, and yeah, you can catch me in the Twitter Spaces. This is
okay,
my second home.
I'm on Twitter here, and then I'm on Instagram as well at my first name and last name Harley Hall 1. So you just look up Harley Hall 1 is where I'm at, and then I just want to say really quick with the whole DG, some people were really interested in kind of how all it works. I believe on a Twitter space you can't really like screen share, so I think we were gonna set up some time on the Discord to just be able to look at my back office because this the application allows me to track to see how my delegates are doing. It shows me how much money they're making. It shows me if they checked in for a day. It shows me what percentile they fall in comparison to everybody else that's renting an NFT. It shows me where they stack on the leaderboard. It shows me how much I've made from it, all that stuff. But, it's more visual. So if anybody's interested in kind of looking at the back office of this, we would just have to set up another time for that on Discord.
Yeah.
I'm down.
So Harley, that's where you can find us on Discord. You guys, Harley and Manic are both in our Discord. We'll probably do something there. So Trading in the Money Inc. You can find us on Twitter right there. You can hit it. We do a lot of these sessions in private to our VIP members and members. So I got to tell you, this is just 1% of the value you get in our Discord. So Trading in the Money Discord. Shane, do you want to add anything else?
Trading in the Money. Come join us in Discord and become part of the family and the community. We're all here. We're all happy. It's going awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely be looking forward to talking with Manic and Harley again.
Yes.
Sure, we're going to have some more upcoming spots, stuff like that.
Let's go.
We can't wait.
Let's go. So
Thank
NFTs are alive and well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Manic, do you want to leave us with a rap? Since you let us in with a rap, let us know. Last chance.
I don't really have an outro rap, but
all right.
NFTs are alive and well. So let's go.
All right. Well, let's go. Woo. See you guys at the next one. Thursday every 7 p.m. Thursday Twitter Space. We'll do another topic next week.
Much love.
Good night.
Thanks for coming out and listening, everybody. Absolutely.
Awesome. Have a great one. All right.